what's in it for me, right? While we all have our altruistic moments, most of the time that's the question in our mind. And it's a question in everybody's mind. So when you're enrolling others into your project, into your business, into whatever ask you may have of them, it's actually not about you. It's not about your project. It's not about how great you are or what you have to offer, but it's about them and what value you're creating for them. Now, people care about different things, right? For some people, it's important that it's good for their business, or it's good for the customer and they want to look good in front of them, or it's good for the future. They might actually care about our environment and what's happening there. So they're also holding for that space. And in the end, it's about them, right? What do they care about? What's important to them? So when you're trying to enroll others into your vision of something, make sure that you actually first take a step back and think about how does it create value for all these different constituents, right? All quadrants of the value creation matrix, right? Does it create value for the organization? And that organization could be a business, it could be your team, it could be your family, it could be the larger construct that you're in, right? But you need to show that you're creating value for that. Then is it relevant to someone? Is it desirable for someone, right? Does someone actually care about this? Is there a customer out there for this? And why do they care about it? What does it do for them? What value are you creating for them? And then, of course, is it good for our collective future, right? Does it make sense for that? And in the end, does it make sense for them? So really thinking about what's the aspiration that they might have? What are the things that they're worried about that keep them up at night? What are the things that they're fearing, right? What are the things that would make their life easier, would make their life better, right? And this is ultimately what you need to do is when you try and enroll someone, is the first part is your intention, right? And it's really coming from a place of service to them rather than trying to push something on someone, because when we do that, we all feel that, right? We're animals enough that we'll feel if someone is trying to push something on us or comes from a needy place, we will probably not, say yes to whatever they're asking us to do. But when they're coming from a place of excitement and they're sharing potential and they're giving me a sense of my own possibility of who I could become, right? In that case, when they feel like they're being cared about, then they're really eager to listen. And as Theodore Roosevelt said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So when enrolling others, make sure you really demonstrate the value to them. That's your intention. Create a vision that's really strong and compelling and emotionally engaging. And we'll talk about that in the next session. And then, think about the relationship and really having a long-term relationship with them and how your action or their action by saying yes to you will actually help this vision that you're trying to create for them. Make sure that they know you're there to support them as they act on it, that they're not going to be left alone after they make that decision. That is also an important anchor for them to know that you're with them all the way. And this is how you enroll people, right? Really make sure that they, know how valuable it is to them, what you have to offer, and make it really easy to say yes to you.